Thank you for staying with us. It is less than 48 hours to the presidential and National Assembly election. As it is, political parties are holding last-minute campaign to get more voters on their side. The women of the All Progressives Congress are not left out as they continue building momentum and capacity by calling on other women to come out on Saturday to vote for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and other candidates vying for political positions in the party. Although the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said the participation of women in previous elections was low, the APC women say this year is going to be different. Joining us via Zoom is the National Women Leader, APC, Dr. Betta Edu. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Right. Give us a sense of how it's been crisscrossing the country to get the support of women in this election.
Well, it's been really, really very tedious, but very, very engaging, very rewarding. And we are so happy at the level of women's participation in this entire campaign period. Women have come out in their millions to be part of the process. So from the canvassing, to the rallies, to the campaigns, to the door-to-door, to the person-to-person, one-on-one engagement, town hall engagement, name it, through different groups, religious groups, traditional groups, artisans, market women. It's been a huge movement of Nigerian women to fully get involved in the electoral process. And we're really very happy with the results we're beginning to see. We're positive that is going to amount to women coming out in their millions for the elections on Saturday. We're hopeful that we can get into the bag at least 40 million women's vote for our presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. The mobilization is still on. We are the few last hours to the end of campaigns, and we are very positive that we have reached out to so many women. We have our strategies down to the grassroots. They are engaging every single minute. It's a lot of work, but we believe it to give us the success we need.
What is the cultural component of your strategy? Because, you know, across the country, there are different cultural restraints about access to women. How did you adapt your strategy to the Southwest, the Southeast, and the North?
So we had to develop different campaign strategies for the different areas in the country. In the North, it had to be a women engagement at their houses, right? And then, of course, at few times we had focus group discussions where they brought them into very little groups and they were able to interact with them in their compounds. I'll use the word compounds in this sentence to mean putting together a cluster so that you can address them, talk to them, enlighten them, tell them what's expected of them, tell them the things they're not expected to do on the election day. So you're not supposed to wear any material that has APC on it. We try to advise them too. You know, most of the women in the North, they have this painting they use on their hands, which is, I think it's called Ilia or something like that. And they were told not to use those paintings so that their thumbs can be recognized by the beavers machine. So all of this education were done at the grassroots. This was for the Northern women. Their engagement was at that level. We had to also do some other engagement beyond what I've mentioned in the North. In the southern part of the country, where they're more liberal, less conservative, we're able to engage them at different levels in the market, in churches, the mosques, different areas. We're able to engage with the women. Market women brought themselves together, professional women brought themselves together, and several other women. We held town hall meetings at different parts of the country. We engaged with the different professions individually and as a group collectively, and we were able to reach out to them. The southern region was less intriguing. as compared to the northern region where we had some cultural barriers which we had to overcome. But in all, we're able to get down to the grassroots and speak to our women. And as I speak to you now, there are over 1 million women out there canvassing and doing the last minute race for our party APC, so our presidential candidates can clinch the winning votes that he requires to scale through.
All right, Dr. Edu, you have crisscrossed the entire country on the campaign trail. And I wonder, share with us, which of the states do you see as most memorable or most interesting from what you have observed and the way you were received and how you engaged?
Okay, so I would say Kanu, Lagos, and Ibadan.
Why is that? Share with us.
Yeah, Kanu was an experience I'll never forget in my lifetime. So we're out there on the road with people, and there are millions. When I mean millions, I mean millions for millions. They were out there screaming, say Jagaban, Nigeria, say Jagaban. It is something I've never seen before. And these were not even people, the stadium was jam-packed. If we were at that stadium for more than 10 minutes beyond what we spent in that stadium, we'll have a stampede. At the same time, the roads were a distance where the previous evening we had driven there for 10 minutes. For 3 hours plus, we were still on the road. Like you couldn't move the humans off the road. They were screaming, excited, cheering. This was organic. It was beyond what I could imagine. And then, of course, the women were all out there in the stadium. They were screaming. They were all out to receive us. We got into Kano around 1 a.m. in the night. They were all at the airport to receive. It was massive. And the same thing with Lagos State. On the streets of Lagos, it was homecoming for their own son, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. The women were out there in their numbers, and you will hear them clearly tell you, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has a record of empowering women. He was the first person who twinned with a woman to run for the governorship of Lagos State. And it has become a norm in several other states in Nigeria today, especially in the western part of the country. He was the first person who appointed the head of the judiciary as a woman in Lagos State. He was the first person who appointed the head of civil service as a woman in Lagos State. They employed 50% for women in Lagos State, and today, if you go to check their permanent secretaries, you'll see that most of them are women, because most of them were employed so many years ago and they've grown through the ranks to become permanent secretary. These are all antecedents of this man. This is track record. His wife, he didn't say, go and sit down somewhere or keep yourself hidden somewhere. I'm the man here. I'm the politician here. He allowed her to go out and pursue her dreams and achieve it. Today in Lagos, we have women running for Senate. In fact, the biggest senatorial district, Alimosho and the rest of them, they are under a woman running for it. She was the former deputy governor of Lagos State. And we have other women in different positions, both the reps and House of Assembly. This shows you that he's going to give women that seat at the table right in front, contributing their own quota to nation development. His action plans were very clear for women. So across board, you see the reaction of women, that organic love for our candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. And that's the same spirit. Without being given a dime, they have gone out to work for him, knowing that they will be empowered.
All right. Now, we know that ours is a patriarchal society. I wonder if you encountered any challenge with regards to that. How are you able to win the minds of the husbands of these women to allow them to come out to vote?
Well, like I've always said, women, we are the neck. The men, they might be the head, but we are the neck, and we turn the head where we want to go, right? We've been able to work with our men. We're not in competition with men. We're partners in development of this country. This is a nation, and women must play their role. They've always done so. We just need to increase that level of women participation. We started with sensitization of our men. We started with he for she's, giving them different titles, he for she, going to decorate them as such. This now puts them at the front burner, pushing for women. So they now know I have been recognized because I've supported women, and now it's time to do more to support more women. And so those were our strategies, even the religious angle, the traditional angle. We created a lot of he for she. We did a lot of sensitization, and you could see them come all out to back women. Even our female candidate in Adamawa, men are backing her up.
I don't know if you were in the Oshun rally. I thought you would mention Elisha Oshogbo as one of the highlights, because we saw the real, and also Borno as one of the real. Other than that, I also want to know what are the sober moments, especially in places like Katsina and Bauchi. What speak to what happened in those rallies?
So two things. First and foremost, Maiduguri, that's Borno State, is one of our super high points. In fact, it was just unbelievable again. The crowd was massive. Osun State also had that very organic super support. So you see a state, day one, they were having some things of kind of like protest or something. Asiwaju shows up in that state, and you see the same people all out on the street in their millions showing him love, saying it's not about you. We know you'll fix it. We know you'll do it for us. Bauchi State was awesome and wonderful. We had huge support. The stadium was filled up with people supporting and hailing our party. Of course, we just had a situation where we had a saboteur go to cut the power supply to the mic just at the point where the president was supposed to speak. So where the line was being tapped, it was cut. And of course, the president said that would not stop him. And he held the presidential candidate in his hands and went round the stadium again, hailing and telling them, this is your president. This is the incoming president. This is the next president of Nigeria. He did it over 4 times in Bauchi, and then held the governorship candidate's hand up and then took a bow, and we left. Bauchi was really very great for us. So it's another strong point for us. However, Katsina was not as big as other rallies that we have attended. And the reason was clear. They just lost some people a few hours to when we were in Katsina. And indeed, even our presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, he has a lot of compassion for people. And he said we should just get in there and pray with the families. Pray with the families that have lost some lives as a result of this bandit. And if you heard his speech that day, he said they will not go unpunished. We will face them head on and ensure that they are eliminated from Nigeria. He was very clear about it. And he said, I promise you, I will build and improve on the security situation in Nigeria, and we'll make it top notch. We'll improve, we'll include technology into the whole system and really outperform what we have done right now. He was very clear. For us, Katsina was prayers. Katsina was painful because they had just lost people, and we could not go there and then begin to dance. In fact, we were asked to drop all the brooms in reverence and, of course, recognition of the lives that were lost, condoling with the governor and the people of Katsina State, and including the president, who is from that state. He was there himself.
I just want to follow up. I just want to follow up that remark on Katsina. People have said Katsina, in spite of being the president's home state, is maybe a challenge for APC. Because of some forces of division, the former SSG and all of that in the state. But then some people have said the factor of Shema in PDP, they're working with the present governor may change the equation. What are you hearing?
Well, I'll tell you this, take my words to the bank. APC will win Katsina. The president of Nigeria would not lose in his hometown. He would not lose in his home state. So take my words to the bank, we would win Katsina. We've created a lot of alliances presently as we speak, some of which I cannot come to TV to really discuss because these are our strong points. They have all aligned with the governor and they're ready to deliver Katsina State to APC. A lot of work is going on the ground. Forget the noise you see and all the stories you hear and get on the internet, we've gone way beyond that. There's no other presidential candidate in these elections that have worked as hard as Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. 24 hours round the clock. He's awake, consulting, meeting with people. We went to Katsina and we were in meetings with different sectors, different groups, different religious groups, up until 4 a.m. in the morning. And by 9, he was already out, ready to go to the stadium to go and meet with his supporters. He's done a lot of work, and we will see the result by the grace of Almighty God at the polls in the next few hours.
All right, that will be a fine place to leave the conversation. Dr. Betta Edu, the National Women Leader of the APC, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.